Do you want to know how the hidden luxury lifestyle of Kim Jong-un looks like? The supreme leader of North Korea is also one of the world's most well-known modern dictators, who also happens to have a lot of power and money under his belt. For today's video, we will be talking about how Kim Jong-un spends his billions. Yep, you heard me right. Billions. Being the supreme leader of a country, dictatorship and criminality or not, comes with its perks. And we're talking about the big bucks here, as Kim Jong-un has an estimated net worth of around $5 billion worth of assets and bank accounts. Stay tuned for today's video to find out in what ways Kim Jong-un spends his billions. Welcome to Nine Figure Life, your place for daily motivation and inspiration. If you want to be part of our giveaway, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment the hidden message. When you're a billionaire, ruler of a country or not, you typically can afford yourself a life of luxury and relaxation. Maybe sipping wine and eating caviar by the pool or in your personal island. Or spending your massive fortune on lavish things for your friends and family. All billionaires have more money than they can possibly spend in life. So why buy basic things when you can buy super yachts and private jets? Well, on top of that, Kim Jong-un also uses his money to ensure he stays in power. He has assassinated and executed family members before, like he did with his uncle, and wants to make sure that there's no one else challenging his leadership and supreme rule. We'll get more into detail on Kim Jong-un's security expenses later, so watch until the end to find out how much he puts toward his personal safety. It's very ironic, but unsurprising at the end of the day how much money Kim Jong-un earns from being supreme leader. Most of his fellow countrymen earn not even a fraction of what he does in a year. And the same has been happening for both his father and grandfather. They all have been using the same family fortune every year to further advance their power. How convenient. It's also not uncommon that supreme leaders like him, his father and grandfather, also spend their money on hitmen or personal assassins to murder possible plotters or political rivals. Not like they couldn't just execute them in public anyway, as Kim Jong-un once did Sir Uncle Jang Song-taek for treachery. So, you're also probably wondering how he has obtained such a massive fortune. Looking at other presidents and rulers of the world, most of them tend to be wealthy, but not billionaire-level wealthy. How have the supreme leaders maintained their money intact across a century? Stay until the end to find out why, and how he spends that daily. Before he became supreme leader, Kim Jong-un watched as his father, Kim Jong-il, and grandfather Kim Il-sung raised the family's fortune. Their assets are saved in different places across the world. And of course, their main income source comes from leading the country, which they have mostly invested in a high number of illicit channels in China. Let's not forget the fact that despite being the supreme leader of North Korea doesn't have many trade partners. It's North Korea, after all. It's been blacklisted and sanctioned to no end, with most of its money coming from selling coal to China. Even then, just selling coal to one country isn't enough to make another one fabulously wealthy. Want to know the answer to this question? Crime for profit. North Korea, and thus Kim Jong-un in the process, mostly earn their money through weapon sales, drug manufacturing, cyber attacks, and even slavery or forced labor. Great. Now that we have the ugly truth out of the way, let's talk about how Kim Jong-un spends all that sweet and probably illegal cash. It is known that Kim Jong-un has spent money on private jets, private islands, super yachts, luxury cars, playing golf and real estate, and owning a slew of luxurious houses and mansions across the country. He's also a known lover of fine dining. Turns out that the best way to stay calm during a dictatorship is to have a continuous supply of fine liquors and cheeses, which he really enjoys eating. In fact, Kim Jong-un's love of cheese is so well known that back in 2012, he had gotten so fat from eating cheese and other types of food that he developed a cyst on his ankle and had to get surgery to remove it. He particularly has a taste for the most expensive bottles of alcohol. His favorites are whiskey and cognac, but not just any brands. He prefers the more expensive kinds, such as Hennessy, which can cost up to $2,145. He's been known to order top-quality pork from Denmark, caviar delivered from Iran, Chinese melon and steaks of Kobe beef, which tend to be quite expensive when bought so massively. He's even known to buy designer brand cigarettes. Yes, cigarettes. Like the Yves Saint Laurent pack and leather case that cost $165. He also spends quite a lot of money on designer bags and clothing for his wife. And strangely enough, on Western movies, despite all of them being banned in North Korea. Kim Jong-un probably doesn't believe in having life insurance, and you'll be surprised to know why. A lot of his money also goes to improving North Korea by building its military and nuclear arsenal. It's obvious that being a dictator, even with so much safety and security, he must have some type of protection powerful enough so that he can soundly sleep at night without thinking anybody would plot against him. His security expenses can be even a bit out of hand. He has a team made of many highly trained martial artists that accompany his limo whenever he travels. Every time he goes somewhere, there's this bunch of adult fighting men that are jogging around his luxury car choice of the day, making sure that nothing happens to their supreme leader. Also, when Kim Jong-un travels internationally, he also flies with 2 decoy jets, so that nobody exactly knows which one he's traveling in. He's also said to have around 90,000 soldiers ready to give their lives for him personally at any moment. So we can safely say that he has a personal army on top of everything else. It might seem excessive when compared to other world leaders, but considering the fates of other similar dictators like him, who tend to spark revolts that end in their very violent and gruesome deaths to pay for their crimes, it actually makes a lot of sense that he would want to spend some of his cash on getting good sleep at night, knowing he won't wake up dead. However, if you lived in North Korea, you will probably have the impression that, instead of doing all this, Kim Jong-un is actually devoting his time to noble causes, parading, visiting factories, and helping those in need. Never mind the fact that Kim Jong-un buys electronic goods costing $37 million, and watches which cost another $8.2 million. On top of that, it's also known he spends a lot of money on luxury fashion. If you've seen at least 4 or 5 different pictures of Kim Jong-un, taken in different times, you might notice that his attire doesn't ever change radically enough for him to own a wardrobe or 2 full of lavish luxury clothing. There's a fun explanation for this. While Kim Jong-un normally dresses in black and white overalls, smocks, or military clothing, he enjoys dressing in luxury fashion in private. He has even spent nearly $650 million only in luxury goods. And you can bet that these were not to be donated to the common public of North Korea. Also, that's ignoring the fact that luxury goods are banned in North Korea by the UN. With North Korea barely being many people's first thought when it comes to a low-earning country, you might be surprised to find out that the average North Korean man only earns between $1,000 and $2,000 per year. Yep, you heard me right. That's per year. How is it possible to live like that? Of course, there's a handful who earn more than that, but the point is the vast majority of the country is very poor, and that Kim Jong-un is very rich. We thank you for watching this video today, and also invite you to comment what you think of Kim Jong-un's expenses. Did you know that he's actually one of the richest world leaders in the world? Let us know in the comments below.